Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2. My name is ODPixel. You're watching here on Beyond the Summit. It is the Summit 3 European qualifiers. But I, of course, I'm not alone. I'm here today with GoDz. GoDz, are you there?
I am here, as
Brilliant.
always.
Fantastic. Game 2, Ninjas in Pajamas versus Asus.Polar. What are we going to see? Well, this time, they pick up the troll first and they take the tree for themselves.
Yeah, that's not something I would have expected. Like, yeah, FNG's tree was a big problem for them in the late game, but normally I think if you're NiP, you just say, well, let's end things a bit earlier. Let's end things a bit faster. I mean, they have the troll once more, so I don't think they needed the treant, but hey, they'll go for it and see what they can do with it in their hands.
It was certainly arguably one of the biggest issues that NiP had at the end of the game, but it wasn't quite enough to stop them from taking that first game victory. And the fact that Era is going to be on that troll again is something indeed that Asus, they need to be scared about. Witch Doctor is going to be the second support picked up for Ninjas in Pajamas. Sniper was the first pick for Asus, and they follow it up with a Bristleback as well. So almost certainly their mid laner and their off-laner, and Bristleback up against this tri-lane, if that's what it's going to be that Ninjas run. It should do fairly alright. He's going to have the harass coming in from the Witch Doctor and the Troll, but Bristleback, obviously a very, very strong off-laner, and like go for the good old Lion, and Lion, one of those supports that he's very strong. He is a little bit squishy, but the amount of lockdown he offers early on in the game is pretty insane. Yeah,
I think the Lion, good solid support pick to have. You want to have burst damage against the troll. We saw it last game. I mean, the troll got out of hand, but they almost managed to deal with him with the kind of Lagunas from Illidan. So kind of similar concept coming out here. I kind of have to worry a bit about the Bristleback. Troll, the best kind of laning carry almost there is, and Witch Doctor with just a point or two in Malady can do a lot of damage for him. So I think Bristleback may actually struggle if he's solo in the off lane, but we'll see exactly how the lane's kind of set up here, because NiP may look to do something a bit different. They go for the laner this time around. They're swapping drafts. This is going to be almost certainly, I would say, a limp solo mid laner. Normally, NiP run this in the mid lane.
Yes, I think it almost certainly will be. And it'll be up against the Sniper, and Lina, arguably one of those heroes who doesn't do too bad against the Sniper, in the sense that she has got that pretty damn good attack range. And of course, after she gets a few levels, or at least level 6, you're going to be able to blow up the Sniper fairly easily. Shrapnel is still going to be an issue, but then again, Shrapnel for anyone in the mid lane is incredibly annoying to lane against. And talking about it annoying to lane against, Lich is picked up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this Lich making a lot of rotations, maybe helping the Bristleback a little bit in the off lane, and maybe also just helping Sniper secure his farm in the mid lane against the Lina.
Yeah, a decent pick here. It's going to negate some of the physical damage from the troll later on with the ice armor, but still this magic damage coming out from the Lina. I guess the Witch Doctor ultimate also some physical damage, so a very laning stage centric hero, the Lich here with the sacrifice. So he's most likely going to kind of help out the Bristleback in the offlane, I feel. Like kind of do a combination of maybe use a few sacrifices in mid, but probably more emphasis towards the offlane Bristleback, who otherwise doesn't get farm and XP against a tri-lane from NiP. With the dual lane, though, with the ability to pull the creep wave back, you can actually take a 2v3 lane setup there.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty key, because they do need to try and shut down this troll swap. We saw in the first game, Era found a ridiculous amount to start off with in the safe lane, and then he just transitioned and snowballed entirely out of control for the most part of it. Slark's going to be the final ban out for Ninjas in Pajamas. I guess Slark, just one of those heroes that can, at the later pushes in the game, man fight up against a troll and be able to stand and, well, trade right clicks essentially, but troll obviously not going to be able to get them through the shadow dance, so puts him at a slight edge. And Phoenix, the final ban for Asus, and I guess that just leads us into believing we are going to see some kind of melee carry come out, and also just a hero that works very nicely with some of the spells like the Overgrowth, and also with the Witch Doctor as well, just being able to set up for a big team fight.
Yeah, no. All right. So we'll see what the kind of option's going to be for Jonas as the offlaner. I assume that's their last pick. I think once NiP may have ran like an offlane tree and protector, but that worked. I mean, it didn't work, basically, so I don't think they go for that again. So we'll see other offlane heroes come out. I think the Spirit Breaker is still a pretty good option, just as that initiator. We saw Spirit Breaker last game as a support, but you can run that in the offlane as well. Other options, maybe something like a Clockwork, as far as like having a kind of initiator gap closer against the Sniper, so you can actually jump on him. But we'll see what NiP have in mind. Only 15 seconds reserve time left.
Yeah, so I want to see a big Jonas fan here. Oh, they go with the Centaur. Okay, so one of those heroes fairly nice against the sense that you look at the Sniper, the Bristleback, and the Lich. 3 heroes with pretty hefty slows. And Centaur's going to be able to save your team and get you the hell out of them. With a team of a Centaur and a Treant, you do have the capabilities to be quite defensive. And especially in terms of keeping your Troll and your squishier kind of cores like the Lina safe in a lot of situations where they, you know, well, they're more than likely to go down fairly quickly.
Okay. Yeah, there's not. I mean, the Stampede's nice always as an initiation tool, but it's not like I don't think there's any really big synergy with any kind of other combo, any kind of your other heroes here. But as far as getting away from like a Bristleback, maybe if the Bristleback has a lot of farm, it could work pretty nicely. Asus.Polar now, their last pick coming out, and we'll have to see if it's going to be an Illidan hero for the safe lane, or if the Bristle maybe goes safe lane and they get an offlaner for Sadoy. But I feel the Bristle with the Lich is going to be kind of your natural dual lane for the offlane, and getting just some hero to go with the line for Illidan in the safe lane is going to be what Asus.Polar have in mind. The Slack being banned out, always a great ban against Illidan, just because that's his hero that he's most well known for. So a bit of a respect ban from NiP, and I think a good ban in general, even outside of the fact that Illidan's playing for them.
So indeed, we are seeing what Illidan's final pick will be, and well, it's going to be something that's going to have to go up against this Centaur lane almost certainly. Centaur, seeing as you're going to have the backup of the Lion in that lane, it's not going to be too nasty for Illidan to find a decent amount of farm if Lions are able to create the space for him. I don't know, we'll have to see what he opts for. And it's going to have to be something that's going to be able to deal with this Troll if the game gets later. I mean, burst damage-wise, as you were saying, they do have the Lion, and I guess the Chain Frost from the Lich is always fairly nice. With the Troll as well, especially in a team with the Centaur. 2 people that are going to be jumping into the center of the fight, and for the most part of it, standing very close together. The Stampede is going to be annoying for the Chain Frost, in the sense that anytime that comes out, Stampede is going to be there in response, and the Delta split is going to be real, and the bounces aren't going to be there. But, well, Asus ticking down to their final seconds, and oh! So it is going to be the position 1 Bristleback, Illidan Bristleback,
Okay.
Offlane Lich, Lion support, and Enigma in the jungle, I'm guessing, with GoDz.
I think Enigma's actually going to be like played in the
offlane?
like as
Okay.
a core maybe.
Okay.
You get like some double denies going on. You get your conversion from the Enigma with a sacrifice from your Lich. No farm is going to go Era's way on the Troll with the amount of denies that could be happening. Enigma may rotate at some point in the jungle, but I think for starters he's going to be looking to contest the lane, contest the Troll Warlord's farm.
Oh yeah, I think you're absolutely
NiP
right.
may have other ideas in mind. I think NiP may actually be running an aggro tri-lane here with the Centaur going to the safe lane.
Oh, it certainly looks like it, and I think, yeah, Asus, definitely with what they were running, were looking to do, as you say, shut the Troll down, but NiP are going to be able to respond to that. But, well, we're into the game 2, as we can see on the scoreboard at the top. Game 1 did go to NiP, and this game, Asus on the Radiant side. It's going to be FNG on that Lich. He's going to be with Seedoy on the Enigma, and it's going to almost certainly just be this dual lane composition. G on the Sniper will be heading towards the mid lane, and down on the bottom lane is going to be Lil on the Lion and Illidan Storm Rager on that position 1 Bristleback. I'm ODPixel, I'm here with GoDz, and GoDz, he's about to tell me what's going on the side of the Dire.
Side of the Dire, we have the team up 1-0. It's the Swedish Ninjas in Pajamas era playing the Troll Warlord for the 2nd game in a row. Hanskin on the Treant Protector. Limp going to be going mid lane on the Lina. Silkid handling the Witch Doctor, and that leaves Jonas, some fan, playing the Centaur Warrunner. Going to be your safe lane solo hero here in game number 2.
So in terms of the lanes, as you said, Asus going aggressive with this dual lane, if they do decide to run with it. Or maybe not. FNG, I guess he's going to look to maybe take the creep from the mid lane to start with and give G a little bit of a head start. He will indeed. And look for a bit of a block. And, oh, FNG, is he going to head down to the bottom and just create a tri-lane? I guess so. It's going to be Seedoy on his own. I guess on his own against a Centaur, the Enigma should be all right, shouldn't he?
Yeah, Enigma 1v1 here. I think pretty even matchup. Maybe slightly Enigma favored, but Centaur can get a value point in return, so you can actually fight the Eidolons and even farm some of the Eidolons if you're not careful. So I think Jonas will be okay in this lane with maybe a slight disadvantage as far as last hits. Bottom lane, though, Illidan taking a lot of damage already. Well, sudden impale here, he's going to get down to about 200 HP, and that salve actually forced out already on your Bristleback.
Okay, I mean, this lane for Illidan, he has got 2 very strong lane supports backing him up in terms of the Lion and the Lich, but It is indeed going to be the return aggressive tri-lane, and with a Witch Doctor and a Treant, you've got a lot of self-protection. You've got that Voodoo Restoration, you've got that Living Armor, and it's going to make it quite hard for the side of Asus to find any kind of kills, and it's going to mean that Error can stay strong and stay pretty confident in this lane when he looks to farm.
Yeah, I think for the most part, NiP have the stronger tri-lane. That's where your Lich is going to just look to sit back, play defensively, spam the sacrifice, and pull creep waves here, although Hanskin will come in and actually look to contest this one. So no chance of a double pull. This is just going to be a straight-up single pull, and nothing much more Asus.Polar can do. The lane likely to even push out after this single pull now as well.
Indeed, so keeping control of the lane equilibrium, very nice. Mid lane, how are we doing between the Sniper and this Lina? So far, 7 CS on the Lina, 6 on the Sniper. It's very, very close. It's a pretty even matchup for the time being, at least until Limp finds the levels and is able to kind of close the gap and look to catch the Sniper out.
Potential gank from the Treant at the mid lane. Hanskin's nearby with boots. Was scouted out by this Raiden Observer though, so I think, yeah, G knows what's going on. He's going to move top and even just get out of the lane to pick up a bounty rune, and no successful kill will come from this. What may lead to a kill though is this Treant with a haste rune. He's getting scouted picking this one up, but still, this is a hasted Treant. With his base damage, this Lich, or possibly one of the Lion, the 2 squishy supports at bottom, could be in some trouble.
Yeah, we'll see if Hanskin's able to do anything here. He's duking it round into the side shot. Nah, he just comes straight into lane. Maybe he realises it's going to be hard to get a kill, but at least he can use the haste to try and zone them back. He goes straight in on FNG, gives him a slap, ults his back out. But just trying to keep these supports pressured on the side of Asus and make it hard for them to protect Illidan. And Illidan's farm so far is certainly being hindered by this aggressive trio. He's only managed to find 6 CS up against the 12 that we've got so far in Error.
Trollwaller, just such a good laning hero, and the laning stage for NiP, look at the CSs, they're winning all 3 lanes. Center actually ahead by a pretty big margin against the Enigma. This is Enigma after that first couple conversions. Until you get that soaring, you can't keep spamming the conversions, and that's where Sadoi's actually struggling to keep up on farm because he hasn't got the ability to keep using the demonic conversion. And Jonas just outlaning him with a Quelling Blade, and I think probably even farming some of those Eidolons too. With a Quelling Blade, you can kind of 2 or 3 right-click down Eidolons, and as a result, it makes it very... You have to be really on point with your micro in this lane.
Well, he's certainly doing what Jonas and fans have actually been doing. He's got the double edge to the second point, so has 250 damage, and that's pretty much enough to nuke down the Eidolons, as we see there. It certainly brings them very low, so he's essentially just getting an extra little bit of farm.
Yeah, he just farms all 3. Eidolons give big money and even pretty big experience as well. He's got about maybe a third of a level advantage here. He's spamming the double edge on Sadoi, who does have a salve, but Jonas, with decent HP regen himself, still has a couple tangos left in his hands, and also Trinkle Boots and more tangos coming out soon. He's crushing this lane. He's laning this so well against an Enigma. This is impressive stuff from Jonas.
It really is. It's one of those lanes that if Enigma had a good kind of head start, it's going to be hard for the Centaur to come back in, but as it is, Jonas and Fan bullying Sadoi right back out of the lane. And maybe once Enigma gets the Soul Ring complete, we'll see Enigma take a little bit of control back, being able to micro the Eidolons and keep a constant return pressure. But it's going to be hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. You pop the Soul Ring, you take damage. You can't get too low against this Centaur, so that's where you just get brought down. You don't want to keep doing the self-inflicted damage here. And he still hasn't actually got his Soul Ring. It's coming out on the courier, and this is a problem as well. He couldn't get to the side shot. So Jonas with a bit of an edge.
And the thing is, as well, so Sadoi, he's got the Soul Ring, but at the same time, Centaur, he's about 1 creep away from Stampede. And I think as soon as you get Stampede, as soon as you see Sadoi pop the Soul Ring, you're straight in there, and you'll have enough burst damage to bring down the Enigma.
Yeah, you may want to heal up a bit first, but his Trinkle Boots, nice play from the Enigma to keep the Trinkles broken. So Centaur's staying like around this half HP mark. He's knocking the Trinkles regen. Sadoi, though, here's the Stampede you mentioned. Stampede forward, Sadoi in some trouble. Full stop double edge, but he's taking too much damage. Jonas is going to die for this. First blood is acquired, so it's worth it for him, but I feel like if he maybe waited a bit... Oh,
they find a kill onto the Lina as well there, as FNG rotated in, so... yeah, NiP, they find the first blood, as you said. Was it worth the Centaur throwing his life away? Probably, I guess, to get the first blood, or would you say... Yeah?
I'd say it's worth it, but I think he could have maybe been a bit more patient and found a kill without having to die. So I think it's worth it, but I think there was maybe a better outcome to be found. Bottom lane now, dive underneath the tower here. TP from the Enigma. He's got a black hole. This could be huge. Sadoy is going in. Catches out two. Nothing the tree can do to cancel this. Era and Silkid getting the quills stacked up on them. Just 2 points in the quills, but a couple more coming out, and Era is already getting stacked up. Impale only going to catch one. That may save Era's life, and Limp rocks up to the party. Laguna on your bristleback, and Sadoy now in trouble. All they got was the Witch Doctor. That looked so good for Asus.Polar, but NiP just sustain themselves, and they turn it around and get the big kills with the nice rotation from Lina.
Yeah, it was a very, very nice black hole. But yeah, the Voodoo Restoration, the Living Armor, and the fact that he's not going to die anytime soon. And, oh, yeah, it's a really unfortunate and, yeah, bang on rotation there from Limp. And rotation he really needed. Hadn't been able to find too much action against this sniper in the mid lane. But that's going to bring him back up to the point where he can maybe look to find a kill when he gets that Laguna Blade back online. Top lane. Well, Centaur, level 7, a little bit too tanky for these two to deal with, and has got the Stampede as well. But they've swapped Illidan up here to the top lane, taken him away from this lane involving the Witch Doctor and the Troll, and arguably this is going to be the nicer lane for him to farm him at this point.
Yeah, it seems that's probably going to be the case. You do have to be a bit worried. Any NiP hero rotation towards top with a Stampede could lead to potential kills here. Jonas taking a bit of damage. A Lich Frost Blast could get him pretty low here, but Illidan not being able to chase him down. Tranquil Boots giving some good armor, so just negating some of that full spray damage.
Yeah, it's going to make it hard for Bristleback to go aggressive onto the Centaur and find a kill, but certainly with these 2 points in the Bristleback passive, he's going to be able to keep Centaur zoned out the lane. And Centaur on 800 gold was having a great time and almost certainly was looking forward to picking up a quick blink dagger, but that's not going to be the case with the Bristleback in the lane. G now with the shrapnel, trying to chase down Lina, looking for the headshots. That's just got the 1 point in it. That's all you need to get that slow. Bottom lane, Era, Hansken, Silkid trying to take the tower now, coming up to the 8-minute mark, and I think they might just get it. Fortification has already been used, and Asus, no signs of trying to defend this one, and that's going to be the tower going down and the gold going the way of the Troll.
Yeah, Era picks himself up some more momentum here. FNG will find an invis up top, but just a level 5 Lich, no points in the Chain Frost just yet. So, an actual Arcane Boots pick up for your Treant. So a slight different build from what we saw from FNG, wanting to give his team the mana boost, but I'm not going to see that Aghanim Scepter rush that we saw last game from FNG.
Okay, maybe the plan with NiP, they want to try and get this game over and done with a little bit quicker, but top lane, they're going to have to be careful with the Centaur because this is almost certainly going to be a kill. Lion, he's got the Earth Spike. Jonathan Fan, he's actually pops the stick and he stampedes. He wants to bring someone down with him, and he will. He finds the Lich, so even in a situation where he's almost certainly dead, he manages to make the best of a bad place and does bring someone down with him.
Yeah, that works just fine. Well, I think for the most part he's going to be pretty happy with that. His team's getting a lot done elsewhere on the map. They're even going onto the tier 2 tower. They're not stopping at that tier 1 bottom, and no one really in a position to defend this. Bristleback can maybe pick up a TP from the side shop. They're going to TP in one. That's your Lich, but not an easy hold here. They're likely to take some decent damage, which is going to at least force NiP back, but still, damage has been done.
Indeed, Nera and Hansken, they're back up. They play it safe, and top lane, still Centaur. Needs to be a bit careful. Lion's still here. Hasn't quite hit level 6. Maybe with the finger they can go for it. But this Centaur is very, very tanky. 1,500 gold as well. 3/4 of the way to finishing off that Blink Dagger. So he's going to be wanting to play kind of safely. Mid lane, Limp comes back in. Has got the Laguna Blade. I mean, even if they just find the mini stun with a paralyzing cast, that should allow the Lina to follow up with the Light Strike Array and to blow up the sniper with the ultimate. And in the jungle, Hansken in the trees alongside Era. Enigma just trying to find a little bit of safer farm down here in the jungle. And what's he got coming out? Is it part of a mech? It is. He's got himself the Buckler on the way over.
It's a good start for Sadoy, but until he gets that mech, not going to be able to offer too much towards his team. To top lane, it looks like Lil about to hit that level 6. You talked about the finger when it comes up. Could see a kill on Jonas, especially if he's going to keep using this double edge on creeps. Jonas is low, and Lil from the side, impale finger. Easy kill. That's a bit cocky from Jonas there. Shouldn't be using that double. You shouldn't be getting so low on HP from using double edge on creeps at this point.
No. Especially when the lion's off the map. You want to be careful, and that's annoying for him because he's lost a good 200 or so gold on his road to the Blink Dagger, so it's going to set him back, and he needs to be careful because if he doesn't get that Blink Dagger online soon, suddenly these heroes like the Sniper who no one else on the side has been able to gank. They're kind of relying on the Centaur to get that blink so they can make some action happen against G in the mid lane, because he's having a pretty damn good time so far.
Yeah, he's been completely untouched this game. Top of the net worth, but for NiP, yeah, G's farming well, hasn't been touched, but I guess they've got their Lina who's on par.
Yes.
Also their Troll Warlord. Both these two heroes are pretty much at the same amount of farm as G. So they've got two cores doing really well. And Asus.Polar only have the one. Enigma as well as Bristleback are kind of up there, they're close, but they've both died once or twice, and as a result, NiP, I think, for the most part, are in a better early game position.
It certainly seems like it's top lane. Trying to keep Bristleback back. Are they going to be able to go on this one? They don't want to as of yet. Level 8 Bristleback with the Ring of Health and closing in on the Vit booster for that Vanguard. Cedo in the jungle trying to scare Era back off. And Era is going to have to back out. That's got the Helm of the Dominator completed now on top of the phase boots. And at this point, Era can safely farm up the Ancients, keep himself to himself. Illidan bringing Jonas and Fam fairly low here in this lane. Sealkid's coming in with the clarity with the Voodoo Restoration though, and is going to be able to top him back up. That's your Vanguard done now for the Bristleback. So Illidan's going to be in a much more secure of a position, and it's going to be very hard for people like the Centaur to burst him down. And Centaur, 1900 gold, very, very close to the blink. Jonas and Fam will be looking to play it very, very safely for this kind of final 200 gold hurdle he's got to get himself over.
You'd hope so. He's been playing very aggressive so far, and I think he'd have his blink by now if he'd maybe played a bit more cautiously a few of these times, but we'll see him. Yeah, looks he's probably just secure this blink dagger at top. Now just 150 away after that last double edge, but Lion's coming back top and has a finger in 25 seconds. They don't even need it to get this Sealkid kill, and yeah, with an Impale here, this looks like a dead Witch Doctor. And now your Centaur needs to be cautious, because that finger is back up very, very soon.
Oh, it really does. If they kill him now, this is going to be massive. He's got enough money for the blink, though. There we go. The hurdle's over. Centaur now with your blink just before the 13-minute mark. And maybe now we'll start to see NiP try and find a bit of momentum. They're going to be the first side that's really got any kind of huge initiation. I mean, the best forms of initiation that Asus have got at this point, it's just kind of the Lion, really, isn't it, coming in? No one else can kind of get themselves in the faces of NiP to start a fight.
Yeah, and Lion has to kind of waddle on in or maybe go for a smoke play. So
yeah,
they're going to be looking to kind of counter-initiate. They can't start the fights themselves. They're always going to be the ones who try and read where NiP are going on the map with these blink daggers and with whoever it may be, like maybe a Nature Skies initiation, and try and counter-initiate. But what they haven't read and figured out is that NiP have snuck their way into Roshan.
Yeah, they should be able to get away with this as well. Asus, they're not aware at all. No wards up. And Era now bringing it down to half health. They should be able to find this. Seedoy does find his mech now on the Enigma. So maybe for the next team fight, Asus, they're going to be a little bit more prepared than the side of NiP. Jonas and Fam blinks away. There's your battle chance. It comes out now. It doesn't matter that Asus know it's going down, because Roshan, he's already dead. And that is your Aegis now on Era. 14 minutes in on top of the phase and the Helm. And double damage on Lina as well. This could be a very, very good time for NiP to fight, especially if they get an initiation with the Centaur.
This is good. They've got all their core items for like the mid game. The Lina has the Yule Scepter. The Troll has the just Aegis with a phase helm with a Dominator. You don't really need much more on top of this, and Centaur with a blink. So those are the big three items for their core heroes, and they're looking pretty good to take fights and objectives off of this. But it's still gonna be hard. They've got to get onto G with that initiation, because otherwise Sniper can do a lot of damage in a fight if he's not the one. If they somehow go on someone else with a Centaur blink and they use a Stampede and don't go for G, he will kill heroes like Lina if Lina isn't using her combo on Sniper as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They do need to get the initiation onto G, because, yeah, as you said, the squishier heroes on NiP are going to melt very, very quickly to this Mask of Madness Treads Sniper. And what we see now in the Radiant Jungle, Era and Hansken looking for the wrap round. They've got the overgrowth. Maybe they can find an initiation. There's going to be a Yules onto Sniper. There's the Hex, in fact, onto Hansken to stop the overgrowth. Witch Doctor pops down the Death Ward, and they do bring down the Sniper. And Sniper's not going to be able to get any damage out at all if he's dead. And now the push coming onto the Tier 1. And with the double damage still on Limp, they could do a fair bit of damage, but maybe Limp wants to find more kills. Seedoy and Lil Hansken with the wraparound. He's still got the overgrowth. There we go. Pops it now. Chainfrost comes out, and they will be able to burst down the Lina in return. But still, two heroes down on Asus, and almost certainly a potential Tier 1 going down as well. Illidan trying to defend it up, but wow, Centaur and the Treant, they clear up the line on the back lines. And Bristleback, he's in the middle of 4 of them here. He really wants to fight up against this. Illidan doesn't want to show any fear at all. Maybe needs to be a bit careful.
He's tanky. He's got all the items he needs to kind of fight a little bit, but with 4 heroes, if they hit him with a hoof stomp and get him from the front side, he takes a lot of damage. And Era's doing just that. The hoof stomp, and then you've got Era in the front, right-clicking him away with a Maledict. Low points, only 2 points in the Maledict, so it's not going to be enough, and NiP will not get the kill on the Bristleback.
Oh, actually set Vanguard and Ochre Club. That's all you need to deal with these 4 heroes, apparently. Jonathan Fan sneaks himself an invis. At 7-7, Asus, they keep up a pretty good defense. They keep NiP off the tier 1. And the worst thing that happened there for Asus was they did lose G for the first time this game.
Yeah, and this is always going to be the big target for NiP. Even as the game drags on, yeah, Bristleback is going to be a problem. He's going to probably get like a Sanjin Yasha or a BKB and get really, really tanky and do a lot of damage in these fights. But Troll, right, 1v1, right-click battle will win that fight. And, well, they find the Sniper again, the Stampede to the high ground. They catch G at the Ancients, and just good play coming out from NiP.
It was a little bit of a... Asus, the Bristleback, they saw Centaur take the Invis rune, and that's all that was. Centaur just waited by the Ancients, and G got a little bit greedy, came out to farm, and yeah, waited for Lina to get in range, and the stun, the double edge, and Lina coming in as well with the Laguna Blade was more than enough to find the Sniper. And yeah, just a little bit kind of over-cockiness there from Asus, because they did know that Centaur had the Invis, but they didn't feel that he was going to come back in for more. Top lane?
Top lane, Illidan really wants... will get the tower. No mana for a stun just yet. Now he's got it with the 6 charges, and Illidan, he's in trouble. Era's going to get the slow, and I think they go for this one. He's just trying to get outside of the Quillspray range so he can get a blink stun off, and they'll get the kill on Illidan. That is a big pickup for NiP.
Sniper was trying to find an assassinate onto Jonas and Fall, and yeah, NiP, the backup was there, and G gets taken down, and that's 2 big heroes on the side of Asus being taken down there.
That's their 2 big carries. I guess Enigma's on a similar net worth at the moment, but not a carry in any way, just that utility Enigma. And haven't really seen that much involvement from Sidoi. He's 2-3-1. I think the kill's coming earlier like in the game, and haven't been able to see great use out of this mech or any kind of big black holes after that only black hole we saw at bottom lane, which didn't even really lead to a good fight for Asus.Polar. So NiP game 2, it's now suddenly a 4,000 gold lead for them, and Asus.Polar have got to just kind of play from behind, much like they did in Game 1 now.
A bit of a switch round, especially in terms of XP. A massive swing from 3k advantage to Asus, back down to the 3k advantage for NiP. And, well, as you said, on the net worth board, the 3 cores of NiP all on top of what Asus has to offer at this point. It's certainly looking good for the side of NiP, but Asus arguably were in a worse position in the first game and definitely managed to bring it back, so I wouldn't put it past Asus to still have something in the bag for this game.
Yeah, their late game potential is still there. Bristleback Sniper, 2 good late game carries. On the NiP side, it's really the 1 late game carry with a lot of team fight. Lina, Witch Doctor, Centaur, lots of magic damage, burst damage. You've got good control, but as far as carries go, Asus.Polar do have the kind of 1 extra source of physical damage. And they've also got the big team fight of an Enigma. Enigma, one of the best late game heroes as well. So we'll see how things kind of progress to the late game. NiP have answers to a black hole in the Treant Protector, even when there is a BKB. And Hanskin, he's most of the way towards that Aghanim Scepter. We've seen how potent that Treant can be, and he's going to get it at a much better time than FNG did last game.
He really is, and he's going to get it in a situation where his team aren't behind greatly. They are in a very, very strong position anyway without the Ag. So it's just going to make it so hard for Asus to try and bring it back. Maybe this is the fight. Or Asus is going to look to go. Jonas and Fan taking the Malefice damage, but no, the side of Asus, they just don't want to jump in at this point. They're not too sure what NiP are going to turn in favour, and well, top lane Illidan was out pushing the lane as well, so they'll be fighting without the Bristleback, and at this point of the game they need the Bristleback for these fights.
Yeah, NiP just going to slow things down a little bit as far as they're spreading out their heroes to get farm here. They're not going to really try and take a 5v5 fight until next Aegis. Era farms, I think, a quad stack of Ancients. They've got Witch Doctor farming top, so he can maybe make a move towards his Aghanim Scepter. They're farming the Radiant jungle, so taking farm away from Asus.Polar. And I think Asus.Polar say, we've had enough, let's make a move, let's try and catch someone here, but without a smoke on through, they're being scouted out by Hanskin, who, well, he gets detected. He's done.
Yeah, sits himself straight next to the wards.
Cooldown on the finger. Yeah, it's a long cooldown, this Finger of Death, though. So even though Lil Nalp has a Blink Dagger, that's a precious ganking tool for the Asus.Polar side.
It is, but yeah, on the plus side, the fact that that kill game is Blink, he's going to be a bit chuffed with that. And they do shut down the progression towards that Aghanims, which really is something that Asus, they do need to be worried about. Because, I mean, so far, how far is he away from it? He's 1,800 gold away. Needs a couple more bits for that one.
They've got Midnight Pulse to chop down trees, but it's not exactly a spell you can just spam across trees constantly. So you get enough eyes up, Midnight Pulse is not going to cut it.
No, absolutely not. I mean, if he's careful with the spread of the tree... Oh, Jonas and Fan actually spike. Is the rest of Asus here to follow up? No, Stampede should be enough to buy Jonas and Fan the space that he needs. But yeah, no, Midnight Pulse, it clears a huge area, of course, but the Treant's going to be sensible with his placements, and it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, you're probably just only going to be able to destroy one of the trees that he's actually taken over. And with a 35-second cooldown, as you said, not going to be too much use against this Treant, and we're almost certainly going to have to see Asus pick up some Quelling Blades for themselves this game.
Yep. So Asus is going to get to work on this mid-tier 1 tower. Stampede's on cooldown, and probably partly why they feel a bit safe here. The initiation for NiP is actually not that great without a Stampede. They put a blink on Limp, so he can maybe go for a blink Yules on someone, but if he blinks in, he puts himself in a lot of danger. And if he's using the Yules to set a kill, suddenly he doesn't have that defensive Yules to save his own life. So they'll let the tier 1 mid tower go. It's a pretty important tower to take, and despite that, NiP just say, look, it's not worth losing a fight now. Let's wait till like next Roche comes up and wait till we have our next couple of items.
All right, and yeah, Asus, we're going to see Illidan. He has finished off the BKB on the Bristleback, but at the same time, Limp himself, he's only 1,000 gold away from finishing off that Aghanims, which is going to help out an awful lot against this Bristleback. And, well, tend to wait. Looking at the graphs as well, and what kind of swing we're seeing, it's coming to a 5k lead in terms of XP. Gold-wise, just over 5k as well, so certainly not a huge amount, but it's a consistent and definite lead at the moment for NiP at this point.
Yeah. And even though, yeah, things have kind of stabilized, Asus.Polar it's not continuing going downwards towards the NiP favor, but it does feel like, unlike last game, they're not building towards like the big tree and Aghanim scepter, which will turn the game around. They are building towards like big carry items on Bristle as well as Sniper. They only just got the BKB on Bristleback, but I feel their item pickups are being matched by the NiP ones. Troll's going to build towards a BKB of his own. You've got Lena, who's going to build towards an Ag Scepter. So if anything, I feel like NiP have scary items coming up compared to the Asus.Polar side.
Oh, yeah, I think I've got to agree with you in that sense. There's certainly no kind of big impactful items coming out. Sniper, I mean, he was doing great at the beginning, didn't die, might find himself a kill if the Chain Frost stun is there, and of course it is. With the instant cast mini stun. They're going to be able to find the kill on the Witch Doctor. That's going to put another kill under the belt of G, but maybe mid lane, they pay for it. Bristleback getting caught out. No, he doesn't. BKB straight away, thinking about turning this one out. There's your Malefice from Seedoy, who has now, of course, got that blink on top of the mechanism. Living Armor is going to protect the Centaur for a little bit. Limp looking for a Light Strike array, but Illidan, he jukes it out. And they will be able to bring down this Centaur with one final Quill Spray there. And it was a hard kill, but they do get away with it. And Asus now managed to find 2 pickoffs across the map against the side of NiP.
Yeah. The 10-second BKB, so still does cost them something, because the Bristleback as their main frontline fighter, his BKB charge time is going to matter a lot against heroes like Lena, Centaur, Tree and Protector. Eric could get caught out. He has not got his BKB yet. This is a huge kill if they can get it, and it looks like they sure as hell will. Era surrounded, brought down by the finger.
Another, yeah, really big kill there. Guess you said catching out Era when he was still, yeah, working on that recipe for the BKB. And now the push is going to come down in the middle lane, and Asus, they should maybe be able to take this tier 2 with 2 heroes down on the side of NiP, and especially when the hero's up, the Lena and the Witch Doctor aren't going to want to get too close to this Sniper who's chipping away. And Mithril Hammer now picked up on top of the Ogre Club. He is fairly close to his BKB as well, and they get the tier 2. Hansken looking for a bit of a split push, and hang on, what's he got in the curry? Is that the completed Aghanims? It is. He has got the completed Aghanims now, Hansken.
Ooh, that is going to cause some problems here. They're going to throw in the Laguna. Sadoy has a black hole. Not going to use it on just a solo Lena, who will survive on 20 HP. Okay.
Joseph Vamp stampeding in, though. He wants to find this Enigma. Enigma pops the mech. Death Ward is down on the ground, and with the Maledict, that will be a kill. But the Treant did go down in the end in the enemy jungle, but he got his Aghanims, and he managed to get his first use of it off, already getting a bit of vision in the Radiance jungle.
NiP find a few more kills that they've given up, like the Tree and Protector getting caught out in the enemy jungle. I guess the good news is they didn't lose the Lina there as well. If they lost Limp, that would be kind of costly for them, considering he's been on a bit of a streak with his Lina. But big picture-wise, it feels like NiP's still doing pretty well here. Once Eric gets his BKB, we're going to be looking at an Asus.Polar side who can't really deal too well with that BKB troll. The Enigma Black Hole has just not really been present at all this game just yet.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, yeah, if they get the Black Hole onto Error, they are going to have the physical damage coming in from the Bristleback and the Sniper. But with the Sniper having to build into the BKB as one of his first major items, the damage isn't really going to be too impressive from himself. And that kind of applies to the Bristleback as well. I guess Bristleback with the Warpath passive, it still does add up, but I don't know, they're going to need a lot to blow up Error. And if he does manage to put the BKB before he gets sucked into the Black Hole, the fact that, well, Lion and Lich aren't going to be able to offer anything in terms of offensive maneuvers,
and
it's going to be hard.
Every item the troll picks up, he just gets that little bit beefier, and also just his damage output. From here, he'll go into the Skadi, and then he'll be a whole lot scarier. Then he gets the Satanic, and he becomes unkillable. Illidan, there's not going to be any stage of the game where it feels like Illidan can fight the troll head-on unless he's got, like, a support advantage coming out from, like, the Lion with some disables. But if there's ever, like, an even fight between the troll and the Bristleback, troll comes out on top.
No, absolutely, at this point, especially. I mean, sometimes we do see Bristlebacks go for items such as the Halberd to deal with heroes like the Troll, but with Troll already with the BKB, I guess it's not going to be the item of choice. And if anything, I guess the aggressive item that Illidan would probably build for is maybe go for the Skull Basher.
Yeah. I think, yeah, the best way, I think Sanjin Yasha Abyssal Blade is probably going to be his best bet. Maybe there's, like, you consider something like an Assault Cuirass, but that's something you could get with the Skull Basher. But yeah, for now, I think he wants to complete the Sanjin Yasha, just get the maim so you can actually, if you're fighting the troll head on, get a bit of a maybe damage, increase in your damage output, slow down the troll a bit. But yeah, this is a tough game for Illidan because he's playing from behind. He's got 2k net worth less than the Troll Warlord, and on top of that, just not the hero matchup you'd like. They're going to look to try catch NiP by surprise with this smoke, though, but they walk into one of the eyes. FNG, he knows the Treant. He's picked up a Quelling Blade gem right away. He does not want this Treant to get any kind of map control here, and especially playing from behind. If you give Treant map control in a lineup when you're ahead, it's all over. So, smart decision from FNG.
Oh, it certainly seems to be working. If you look at the map, I know Tree's only had the Ags for a couple of minutes, but he really hasn't managed to get that much done. And I mean, there is going to be the tree here, but it's going to get taken down. I think, well, my maths might be right. It's only got one tree up on the map. And, well, there's the fight. There goes straight in onto Hansken. Sniper chipping away with a finger. Chain Frost is not going to bounce, but it will help secure the kill onto the tree. And Lil getting bursted down. There's the mech from Enigma. Jonas and Fan taking a lot of percentage-based damage from the Midnight Pulse. He'll go down as well. Deathfall from the high ground is not going to be enough. Seedoy getting himself a double kill. And suddenly, NiP with 3 heroes on the deck. Asus, they're dealing with the Treant and they're dealing with the team.
Yep, and they may be the ones to secure Roshan with Bristleback and Sniper. Plenty of damage and minus armor. They see the ward on the high ground, they'll take it out, and they're still confidently going for this road. Fighting without your 2 most high impact heroes. No Troll, no Lean at that fight. Once that Treant gets caught out, you just have to say, look, Era's in the jungle. We cannot fight this. Limp was kind of in the mid lane. You can't fight without those 2 big heroes there. And for whatever reason, the Witch Doctor as well as the Sentinel tried to go in and counter-initiate, but that was just not a fight they sort of chance at without Troll Warlord. And yeah, Asus.Polar get a lot out of it. They suddenly pull back, and we're about at an even net worth game, and it's Asus.Polar who have the Aegis on their side now.
Indeed, with the Aegis on Illidan, there's not going to be too much they're going to be scared about as they take the tier 1 and maybe look to just pressure onto the tier 2. Looks like NiP, they've got a similar idea. Era, man fighting up on this top lane with Limp and Hansken, looking to take a tier 2 for themselves. And perhaps it's just going to be a trade. The Dire tier 2 falling a little bit faster, so perhaps Asus TP back and look to defend. Or will they look to keep pushing out? It's too late. Fortification comes out, but the tier 2 will go down on both sides of the map. 15 to 11, and Asus, if you look at the graphs as well, it's swinging back into their favor in terms of net worth and XP gain.
Yeah, I think the big thing you mentioned, there's just no eyes on the map. We've got now maybe 2 up, but those at any time Lich is nearby, will be dealt with. Bottom lane now, Jonas caught out. I've seen this one few too many times. They'll even throw a Chain Frost for good measure. They get one and they're going to get a second. Silk it. Similar story to last time, just starts running in. When one hero gets caught out, they need to learn to just cut their losses. Error will show up for this fight. Looks like Lil with the Maledict. Is he going to die in the fountain? Yes. Gets brought down, but there's a second kill. It's Sadoy they want. Laguna Blade going through the BKB with the right-click damage. Sadoy will die as well. Good recovery from NiP at the bottom lane.
It is indeed, especially in a situation where it looked like, yeah, the Centaur, the Witch Doctor definitely just kind of threw down the Death Ward and in turn threw away his life. But the fact that it meant that they were able to get a couple of kills in return, and those kills getting the involvement from the two cores of the side, they're going to be happy with that. And Era now with 3.7k gold on top of his build. And do you think we are just going to see him go for a similar build as last time and go for the Skadi next, or is it a little bit late for that? Will he go for something else?
I think it's exactly the same. Skadi,
yeah.
Even late game, is still great. Skadi Satanic, there's no real other items you need, unless you need like an MKB for some evasion. If, let's say, Bristleback picks up a Heaven's Halberd, but I think, in general, Skadi is by far the best item for him here. So, we'll see what other items may come out here. Limp's got a lot of farm on his Lina as well, so there's room for Limp to kind of pick up something like a Scythe of Vice, potentially, or an E-Blade if he wants to boost up the Aghanim's damage he's got going, but lots of potential items for him as well as Aaron. I feel like the last few minutes has gone quite poorly for NiP, but they're still in a pretty strong position just because of their hero comp they've got going.
Yeah, definitely. Just the fact that they're able to keep the farm up a little bit better than the side of Asus. We see 17k net worth on this troll, and the highest at the moment on the side of the Radiant is this sniper, just over the 14k mark. And a little bit of a push coming on the top lane, but fortunately for NiP, this is an area where well, they did have some trees. One of them gets taken down already. The second one gets pinged out. And FNG, we saw him in the first game, lay the tree. He's in the mind of the tree, knows what to do to deal with it. And oh, the blink from Lion just in time. They might find the Lich, though, catching him out with the Light Striker Ray and the Laguna Blade. That is a gem, and that is indeed the Lich who's been causing a lot of troubles for your tree. Devil gets popped down. Storm Rage is fairly tanky. Cedo thinking about the Black Hole, doesn't need to use it. Midnight Pulse and a bit of damage brings down the Witch Doctor. It's 1-for-1 so far. Era, he's diving deep. He wants to find G, and he will find it, but Era, he's all alone. In comes Lion with the backup of Bristle and the Enigma. And we saw Era get up to some shenanigans in the first game, but I would be very surprised if he gets himself out of here. There's your finger, and the damage is more than enough. Lion picks that one off. So Era, he dives for G, but he does give away his life.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it in the end for him. And also the Treant holding on to that Overgrowth for some time, I think maybe could have used on the BKB Bristleback to slow him down, or even around Era. There was an eye nearby that could have proc the Overgrowth onto some of those Asus.Polar heroes and may have led to a different outcome there. So I think being a bit too conservative with the Overgrowth Handskin, but he's at least now got some good vision up, and the gem being saved as well. I think NiP could have maybe gone to help Era, but they're like, look, we got this gem. This is a huge pickup when we've got the Treant on our side. This is actually like a more important kill to be getting than like you'd rather kill the Lich with the gem than kill off like a core hero almost.
Oh yeah.
Although there is now the gem back off cooldown, so I imagine FNG will pick up a new one as soon as possible. Gem is essential against Treant Protector. Without it, you just lose the game.
It really is. It is, and yeah, the gem was causing a lot of issues for Hanskin, and he's going to hopefully ensure that they don't get any future gems. And as you said, Lich has got one back on him now, so NiP, I'm sure they'll be ready for round 2, and hope to bring down the Lich. It's just so annoying to play against if you do get that Aghanims, because essentially that's 4,200 gold kind of wasted. It still offers you a little bit, but it's certainly not as effective if you can get yourself in a position where you've globally got map control of the entire game.
Midnight Pulse not on point here, and Enigma's trying to take out some of these eyes, and we'll see what the two teams' next move is going to be. Roshan will be coming back up, and I think the timer popped up and it was like a medium-length respawn time, or maybe even slightly on the long side, so it's going to be both teams probably just farming their side of the map. Treant looking to keep the eye vision up, and for Asus.Polar trying to get back map control back in their favor by using this new gem of the Lich to take out as many eyes as possible before the next potential Roshan fight.
Yeah, they'll need to do so because, yeah, the eyes, we're actually seeing a decent amount of vision come out.
This is risky from FNG, though. He's, like, making moves towards his own jungle alone. He takes out one eye and then runs back to mid lane to his teammate. I think he knows, like, okay, the entire enemy team could be in our jungle. I cannot go in there by myself.
Yeah, maybe Asus, are they going to smoke up here? Have we got any smokes on anyone? And not at this point. Seedoy, no, he's not got anything for himself. They're just looking to maybe try and find Limp, but Limp, with the Fiery Soul stacks, he's far too fast, and with the Yules and the Blink, he's out of there, keeping himself safe. And as you said, maybe both teams just playing a little bit passive, just kind of hanging back, waiting for the Roshan. Now, Asus, they do want to find something. There's your smoke pop, and they're going to go straight into the Dire jungle. Can they catch anyone out? Can they catch Limp out? We saw Limp on the Queen of Pain in the first game. He did get caught out quite a few times. Is it going to be a little bit of a repeat here in this game? And it might be. No, the Blink just in time. Stampede as well. And Limp very, very, very close to kind of paying with his life there.
Yeah. FNG will take out at least a couple of eyes in the Dire jungles, but a smoke for that not really amounting to what you'd hope it would do. Sealkid will also get a deep observer in this Radiant jungle, and yeah, you've got a gem on your lich, but this is not a spot you'll easily scout out because it is a cliff, so Tier 2 tower taken, but Asus.Polar got to get back, defend the bottom lane, defend the mid lane, and looks like they'll do just that, but just keeping the lanes pushed out right now gives Treant a lot of room to put up a lot of eyes in the Radiant jungle, and with vision in the Radiant jungle and around the mid lane, it really helps secure Roshan for NiP a couple minutes from now.
Oh, Jonathan fan Sensor blinks out. Is he going to get out of this one? No, there's the Chain Frost to cancel the TP, and it doesn't matter how tanky you are when you're this far into enemy territory. It's going to be a kill, and Enigma's going to be able to claim that one for himself. And Enigma, pretty rich now on top of the BKB, the Blink, and the mech. 3.7k gold, and what does Seedoy go for now at this point? Are we going to see something like a Cypher himself?
Oh, I'm always a big fan of the refreshers, but...
Okay, that's always the fun one.
I think the Ag Scepter is maybe more likely. He picked up some... he's going for the Ag Scepter. The Ag Scepter gives you a lot of damage output onto a Troll Warlord. Midnight Pulse being percent-based against a Troll who's going to maybe have a ton of HP. He's actually gone for an AC, not the Skadi, but whether he picks up a Satanic or Skadi next, Era gets up to like 3k HP. You want that percent-based damage, and that's where Ag Scepter can give you the double Midnight Pulse. I think after this he goes the Refresher, though, and that's when the fun really begins.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, we haven't really seen too many massive black holes this game, to be fair. There's your overgrowth just being a little bit of an issue. But that does, of course, indicate to the side that there are trees in this area, and FNG is going to do his best, and it's going to be able to take them all down. So, again, we see the Treant losing the control that he gained of the Radiant jungle. And I guess, at the least, for the side of NiP, it is kind of wasting the time for Asus. They are kind of focusing on removing the trees, whereas NiP themselves, they're looking to farm up. You've got Troll in the jungle, and you've got Lina pushing down the top lane.
Yeah, Lina though, here comes your Scythe of Vice, just a couple hundred more gold, and we'll see it online. Anskin will move back towards bottom. He wants that vision back in this Radiant jungle. You take it all out, but then if he can get back in there and get some more eyes up, suddenly it's you've got to do the same thing all over again. Even if you are on top of the eyes, you spend so much time dewarding it that you'd rather spend like pushing out lanes and kind of taking other objectives. So it kind of forces you to play a style that you maybe don't want to be playing.
It really does indeed, and we're seeing it evident here as Asus with the Lich. He's pretty much focused on just looking for these trees and trying to regain control. He is working towards that Aghanims, and he's going to get it sooner than later. Has got the staff and the club, and closing in on that Blade of Alacrity and the point booster.
And Asus.Polar, we mentioned the Basher on the Bristleback. It's come up and he's got 2k gold, so maybe an Abyssal Blade could realistically be coming soon. He's actually went for the Manta, not the Sanjin Yasha, which is a nice way of dealing with the overgrowth. I like kind of the deviation in the Bristleback build, going for something a bit unorthodox, but it suits this game very, very nicely. Even just getting out of the Troll whirling axis with the blind. If you're trying to right-click the Troll in a kind of 1v1 fight or whatever it may be, being able to get out of the blind effect really helps.
And it's going to be crucial so that Illidan can get those strikes through and get those bashes to hold the Troll in place for a little bit of time when the Troll has popped the BKB. Satanic, it's being closed in by Era. He's got the recipe and only just under a couple of 100 gold away from picking up the Reaver as well. Top lane.
Limp at top.
Yeah, Limp versus the Lion.
It's not just the 1v1, unfortunately, for Limp. The Stampede may cover his retreat. And there's a Blink Centaur stun. Limp survives for now. The Yule Scepter, and Lil doesn't have an Impale just yet. Laguna Blade takes out the Lion. That puts a big exclamation mark on that gank. Lion, a bit ambitious. I like the idea, thinking Limp was completely alone, and he was fairly alone, but backup arrived just in time.
Well, that's going to be a Skadi now on G. Level 19, net worth-wise, he's still a fair bit, well, over a couple of thousand behind the Troll. But certainly he's going to be able to pack a fair punch. I mean, Troll himself has now got that Satanic complete, so he's going to be ready to fight. Bottom lane, Illidan coming up the river. There's Limp here, along with the backup of Centaur. Do they want to try and burst this guy down? They might be able to do it. They're getting the hits in from the front. And there is not a Laguna Blade available, though, for 6 seconds, unfortunately. Maybe with that, they could have found the kill. That's a bit unfortunate.
Still nice damage output, because Illidan, without good HP, only has the Vanguard for HP regen, so he's below half HP, and NiP could say, look, let's maybe make a move onto Roshan. Bristleback's low, and if he comes in, even with a BKB, we've got the Laguna to try and fight him, so I think it was still pretty cost-effective damage output. But NiP for now, it looks like they're just going to sit back, and if Asus.Polar want to contest this Roshan, they have to make some kind of a ballsy play, it feels like.
I mean, they've got the heroes for it. They've got the Chain Frost coming back off cooldown in 6 seconds, and they've got the Black Hole. If they can do something big with that,
smoke.
They've got to do something big.
Both teams about to smoke up. I think Asus.Polar want to smoke to try and contest Roche, but it's NiP who are running directly at Asus.
Yep, Hex straight away into Era. BKB's popped by the Enigma and Stormrace. There's going to be a black hole only catching out Era, but it does the job and it finds them the kill. Deathfall from the low ground, doing a fair bit of damage onto Enigma. G popping the BKB, trying to fight up against Witch Doctor, and he will find the kill. Now onto Hansken, Overgrowth, but there's the Manta style to remove the Overgrowth. 3 heroes down on the side of NiP. G, he's still trying to fight up and he's certainly getting away with it. Jonas and Fan maybe a little bit too tanky, a little bit too big for the little guy, but he can't, he's not got the damage, Jonas and Fan. G just kiting him with this Skadi, with the shrapnel. I think he gets out of it, G. Jonas and Fan, he's not got enough mana for the Who Stomp. And what, there's going to be the TP out, but no, G! Oh, G! He went for the TP, but it doesn't pay off. And he turns a 1 for 3 into a 2 for 3, but still a trade that does favour the side of Asus.
G played that fight so well. The BKB, just to bring down the Witch Doctor, then as soon as the Overgrowth was used, he Mantas it out. He was very patient, didn't rush the Manta style, but he wasn't using it for damage. He just wanted to make sure he had an escape plan for the Overgrowth. I think the black hole on the Troll, I mean, you killed off the one big hero you must kill off, except it was still a 1-hero black hole from Sadoy. I think it's like it's an acceptable black hole, but you ideally want more out of that. And I wonder if Trian Hanskin is he's going for the refresh roll, but something you sometimes have to do against like a BKB Enigma. If you're the answer, he is the one who has to cancel the black hole. I think a Blink Dagger may be a better option for him rather than the refresher this game. You want the refresher later on, but I think you want that Blink Dagger first, as soon as possible. If you want a team fight, you want to have a Blink Overgrowth to cancel this black hole.
Yes, yeah, the Blink is it's gonna be nice, I guess. They do have the Stampede, though. As long as Centaur doesn't get caught in the black hole, they can kind of use that to maneuver the tree into a position where he can get the Enigma. And at least with the refreshers as well, he's going to need to stop a couple in a minute because Enigma, he is working on that refresher orb, has the Oblivion Staff. But what NiP, they take the Roshan. Aegis goes the way of the Troll. Who took the cheese? It was the Lina. Well, there's your Stampede. They want to go mid. Lil, I think he's a little bit deep here. Sealkid's going to keep himself alive with a Voodoo Restoration, and that is going to be a deadline. Maybe even more. Can NiP continue to chase this one down? Illidan, he's running limp, looking for the initiation. He's got the Yules. 10 seconds into the cooldown. Actually jumps in. And it's a Scythe onto Xenoy. This is going to be a big kill. Laguna Blade onto the Enigma. That's Enigma and Lion down, and they both don't have buyback. NiP, they come out of the Roche pit, and they come out fighting.
Yeah, they've got a creep wave on the way here. They're going to get the tier 2 tower for sure, and they may look to just keep on going here. Your high ground defense is decent with a Sniper. Sniper, though, going pure tank, he can kind of sit back and stay alive, but not going to be easy for the actual damage output to be done that's necessary. Jonas, he's tanky as all hell. 3.4k HP with his Heart of Tarrasque, and he says, Chain Frost, what? That is just tickling.
BKB popped by Illidan as he runs in, but then kind of runs out. He's like, guys, are we going for this? And the answer is no. Yes, no, he doesn't want to go for it now. Lina, just a little bit too scary. But yeah, as you said, the Chain Frost came out, but it's not going to do a lot against this Centaur.
Everyone back to full HP with Heart Regen, with Living Armor, and they're invised up as well, trying to maybe find initiation here. Limp has a Blink Hex. This is risky. Well, not so much risky for NiP, but this is danger for Illidan. He's going to get Blink Hex up. There's your Stampede. Blink, Hoof Stomp, Illidan, done for. Has a buyback available, though.
was a quick and easy kill, and the power of the scythe there, allowing them to blow up the bristleback. They're going to send the Treant back up to the top lane. He's going to just push that one out, continue to try and close that gap onto his refresher sword. But maybe NiP, they don't want to pressure it. I guess they realize that the bristleback might have buyback. Maybe it would have been nice to pressure it, but at the same time, they're fighting into the high ground against a team with Sniper and, of course, the Enigma, who does have Black Hole available.
They have some room to grow still. They will lose. Ideally, they want to keep getting the map control up, but FNG, for the most part, de-warning things constantly with this gem quelling blade, so we're still seeing very limited vision from the Treant Protector.
Oh, Limp.
The Ag Scepter.
He gets Yulesed up. Spike, it's going to be whiffed. There's going to be a Yules actually back from Limp to keep himself up in the air and out of danger. Lil now needs to run. 6 seconds until the Blink Dagger. Limp, oh, he's pinging in the wrong position. They made a guess. It's going to be wrong. Lil, he's going to be all right. He hasn't got a TP, though, so he's going to have to take the long route back to base.
Doesn't really want to use that smoke as well. May go for the secret shop and like sell his wand or something, but this is where smokes are very precious. And, well, he's gonna walk into a creep wave here. Lil, please. He does use the smoke. I'm not a fan of that smoke from Lil. That is one of few smokes that you have at this stage of the game. That is a big waste of resources.
There's a stampede there by the side of NiP. Didn't really seem to achieve too much. Didn't look like they were in any kind of danger. Oh, now look at this. Little, still with the smoke. Maybe he can find an initiation, and he does onto Jonas and Fan. Can they kill him? Can they blow up this Centaur? He's fairly tanky. Is he tanky enough, though? The finger, everything throwing down onto him, and the Chain Frost, oh, it bounces down onto the Witch Doctor, but doesn't connect again. Seal Kid is going to try and TP out, but there's the Malefice from Seedoy to cancel it. And that's 2 pickoffs against the side of NiP. Witch Doctor with a buyback available, but Centaur down for 70 with nothing to show for it.
I don't think they'll want to just go use that buyback as well at this point. They'd rather just try and wait things out. But here come Asus.Polar looking to push the high ground. Era still with Aegis in hand for a bit over a minute, so they may just have to use the Witch Doctor buyback and fight with Era on the front lines. It's still so hard for Asus.Polar to push, though. With the Lina Hex plus Ag's ulti, you're almost guaranteed to pick off to start off a fight with that. Like, whoever they decide to go in with that Hex Laguna Troll Warlord is just instantly dead. So I think Asus.Polar, even with a 5v3 setting here, they know that there's a good chance of buybacks, and if they try to push high ground, they get flanked, they get jumped on. Heroes are going to go down before they can react.
And they really are. It's all down to who gets this initial jump in each of these fights. And Asus, they've got 5 men up on this top lane. Era and Limp just continuing to clear out the jungle, keeping themselves on top of the net worth board. And we're looking at the graph at this point in time. It's a little bit of a up and down affair, but NiP certainly have got slight control. 8,000 in terms of XP and gold, but 8,000 48 minutes in really isn't a lot, and it is definitely something that Asus, with one good team fight, could very easily swing back in their favor.
We'll see if Asus can find that team fight. That one big team fight could be coming. Maybe Bristleback picks up an Abyssal Blade. You get some extra lockdown so you can actually fight the Troll Warlord. And it's going to come around now if they want to take it. The Aegis just expires either now or around the time of the next Roshan respawn. So we'll see what the plan's going to be. Troll is actually going to build into some evasion now. So we're seeing a Skydulus build come out, but still a lot of late game potential from this Troll Warlord. And kind of more items geared at being able to fight the Sniper and Bristleback, neither of which has an MKB.
Well, look at this. Initiation from Limp. Scythe onto G. But there is going to be the return from Lion. Can they bring down the Sniper? That's big. They take the Sniper out of the fight. Enigma with a Black Hole. He catches Era, but the Overgrowth stops it. It's a double kill already for Limp. And this is not the fight that Asus were looking for. 3-4 heroes down. NiP just clearing up. And it's just leaving Illidan to run back to base. And only the Sniper has buyback available.
That was huge. That Centaur got a Blink 4-stuff and hit 2 heroes with the Hoof Stomp. The Treant made the play. Talked about getting the Blink Dagger against the BKB Black Hole. He stopped working on the Refresher, got the Blink Dagger, and this, I mean, just smart play all around from NiP. They recognized what was causing them problems, the BKB Black Hole. They react with the Blink on the Treant Protector, and that was just a perfectly executed team fight. Oh, they catch out the Hex on Illidan, but too deep. They're going to go for the tower. They're going to go for the racks instead. Play it safe. No buyback on anyone except Sniper. This is looking like 2 lanes of racks.
It could be worse. There's your buyback. But the middle racks, they're going down. Illidan taking a fair bit of damage, and now it's got the Maledict on him as well, so it's going to tick over. At least tick him very, very low. Seal Kid. And then he gets assassinated, but he's with the Voodoo Restoration. He's not low enough to be popped. And now NiP, they rotate to the bottom lane. Still a good bit of time before Enigma's back up. 20 seconds.
And he's not going to have Black Hole anyways. 2 minutes on cooldown. This is going to be very difficult to do anything if you're Asus.Polar. They're not going for the melee racks here. They're playing it safe and NiP, even using the Stampede to cover their retreat. Laguna, the big spell that's on cooldown for them. And they will go for a full retreat. I think it would have been a risky play. I think if they'd gone for that racks, it would have been like a kind of 50-50 fight. And they say, look, let's not risk it. Let's just fall back, wait for next Roshan, and then try and take another lane of racks. We've got the late game advantage. We have the vision from a Treant Protector, a late game Lina. We've got a Troll Warlord who's going to be 6 slotted, Centaur who's got 4k HP. Everything about NiP's late game is looking really solid right now.
It certainly is. Bristleback picks up the AC though. That's going to help counteract the pickup from the Troll. But well, it's not going to if he's dead. Illidan getting scythed up. Laguna Blade to the backside. Handscan from the front, finding the leech seed, trying to find the overgrowth, but no, he gets bursted down. That's the first casualty of this fight. Illidan with the BKB now, trying to fight back in return. Jonathan at the front, taking a lot of damage. He's tanky, but not tanky enough. Apparently, he's going to get taken down potentially. Forces himself down. I think he goes down here. He's taking a lot of damage. There goes the Witch Doctor as well, and well, Asus, they find a very nice team fight for themselves there.
Yeah, that was just really bizarre. NiP backed off at bottom lane when they were grouped as 5 and could have taken a fight. Instead, they try to fight with a really poor initiation. Like, they got a Blink Hex into a stun from Lina, but they didn't even come close to killing the Bristleback. There was no follow-up. There was no Troll. There was no Centaur with a stun. The Centaur actually came in a bit late and then got caught up by an Impale before it could stun. That was just... If they wanted to take a fight, I feel like they should have done so at the high ground at bottom lane. Instead, they come back and take an even worse fight than what was possibly waiting for them in bottom lane.
Yeah, well, they do have buybacks on a couple of heroes. They might need to expend them. Era gets scythed up and, well, there we hexed up, sorry, by the line, and that's your buyback from the Centaur, and that's going to be enough to scare Asus off by looks of it for the time being.
Yeah. Good news for Asus is they did get the gem back on FNG after that fight. It was actually Sealkid's gem that they managed to claim. So they've got the ability to keep taking out these eyes, although there's quite a few around the bottom lane, around the Roshan pit, which has respawned now. So there's a good chance NiP will be making their move towards Roshan. Era has a butterfly if he wants to buy it, but probably very concerned about his buyback status, which currently would be gone if he bought that butterfly. But, okay, no, it's just a smoke coming out. Looks like NiP going to go for a smoke, maybe into the Roshan pit, but generally at this stage of the game, if you're smoking up, you're trying to take a fight.
Oh, and it looks like Asus, they do want to take a fight. Stampede is popped. Cedo looking for an opening for the black hole. He's trying to find it. Era, he's managed to bring down 1, but they've already lost 2. There's your black hole holding the Troll in place, but the hoof stomp for Jonathan Fan is going to be able to cancel the Era. He gets hexed up by the line. The damage from G and Illidan's Stormrage is just too much for the Troll to deal with. And that's a fair few people going down on the side of NiP. 2 buybacks were used, but Asus, they're controlling the side of NiP, and again, it's another very nice team fight for them, and they might take Roshan.
Well, they're going to buy back and look to contest this one in NiP. No black hole, so Asus.Polar decided to play things fairly cautiously. No black hole, no finger. Actually, finger's more or less back up, but no lich as well. And I think this Aegis is going to go NiP's way because of the buybacks. I feel NiP getting very overconfident there. They smoke up. Treant was running forward, like in the front of the smoke gank, and that is not the hero you want in front. He's the hero you want at the back, because if you run into Asus.Polar who are grouped as 5, you don't want Treant dying at the start of the fight. He's got to get off that well-timed overgrowth to cancel the black hole. So Treant needs to be more careful about his positioning when they go for a smoke play like that. It still works out okay-ish for NiP. They get Aegis and Cheese on their side, and looking to push bottom lane while the black hole's on cooldown. This is about a 2-minute window where NiP can make something happen, and then after that, they've got to probably just play super defensive, even with an Aegis on their side. They do not want to push without buybacks.
Yeah, that is the one thing. Even with, as you said, the Aegis, it's a risky place for NiP to try and take it to the high ground. And at least they do have this Rax that they have taken down in the mid lane, so there's going to be a little bit of momentum. But at the same time, the lineup that Asus have got, they're definitely sorted and kitted out to deal with super creeps and potentially even mega creeps if it does get to that situation. Certainly going to be able to withstand the test of time against the push and the strength of NiP. And, well, there's going to be refreshers picked up on the Lina.
That's a big item, too, when you've got all these high-impact items. Double Hex, double BKB, double Laguna Blade, of course. This is where you can actually kill Illidan. It's worth killing Illidan with your refresher usage, so We can see a lot of damage output from Limp. This is a great late game item. This is like the ideal 6-slot item, or at least like have a 7th item refresher lurking around that you can kind of pick up and then drop once you've used it.
I mean, NiP, they certainly do need something like that to turn around these fights, especially after the way they've been going recently. Asus constantly coming out on top in the most recent engagements that we've seen. And G continuing to keep himself farmed up as much as possible, clearing out the Ancients. Net worth-wise, he's climbing up the board. Only 1,500 now behind this Error troll. And, well, Error still working towards the butterfly, as you said, but indeed making sure that buyback is always going to be available in terms of cash, and hasn't got enough to yet pick up that Eagle Song and can have the buyback available as well. Double damage is spotted out, and that is going to go the way of Illidan. Illidan with 5.2k gold. He's getting to the point where he's, well, just 500 short of being able to pick up the completed Abyssal and still have buyback available.
Yeah, that's a good point here. So he'll, I imagine, pick that up as soon as he can. So we'll see that come out. The butterfly has been picked up by Troll. The one thing is his buyback's actually on cooldown for 4 minutes, so he'll actually go for the item. Maybe drops his Sanjin Yasha for now. Possibly even the phase boots. With Sanjin Yasha movement speed and flutter, you can kind of get away with going bootsless. But he may also just have the courier kind of follow him around and kind of transfer the butterfly as soon as that Aegis gets taken out or expires.
Yeah, we'll see if Error does decide to fight, as you said. But the fact that he's got it but hasn't got that buyback. And yeah, I guess, as you said, but he's not looking to sell anything as of yet. Hasn't entered the shop. Now we're going to see him go. Or maybe not. No, to the jungle. Maybe he just wants to find that gold to have the buyback available on top of the butterfly. But he's going to be quite a way away from that. Yeah, 1,700 gold still needed for buyback. So it's going to require a lot of farming to get the reliable gold share that he's going to need to close that gap.
And the big thing for NiP is not wanting to rush things here. Even with the Aegis and Cheese on their side, they say, look, let's settle down. Let's wait for these last six slot items, our buybacks to come back up. They've got about 3 minutes before multiple buybacks. Lina as well as Troll, and even the Centaur and Witcher, 4 buybacks on cooldown. So even with Aegis and Cheese, they say, look, it's not worth risking losing the game. If we go for a push and our Troll dies twice, he has no buyback. Our Lina dies, she has no buyback. That could happen. Let's just relax. Let's play for the late game. We've got the Treant. We've got great map control now with all these eyes. We have a 1 lane of racks taken already. We can play things slow.
Yeah, indeed. I'm sure NiP don't feel in any kind of pressure, especially the fact that they do have this Treant, and the map, again, it's starting to go back in their favor in terms of global vision. The vision is definitely coming out from Hansken and putting them in a very, very strong position, and in a position as well that it's going to be really hard for Asus to kind of take a fight that's going to benefit them without any use of smoke. And here's the smoke. Can they find a pick off here? Hansken? Have they got a gem? Who's got the gem at the moment? It is FNG still with the gem, but he's not leading the charge. And, well, yeah, Hansken blinks out. He's going to TP, but, it's a mistake. Did he guess that? Was that? I think it was.
I think he saw the animation.
Ah, okay. Okay. Nice, but what, the T... But you can TP and it doesn't break the Nature's Skies, though, does it?
No, it doesn't break the Nature's Skies, but you see the little shining lights.
Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, no, it's a kill.
He just gets reclaimed.
Okay. And let's have a look at the buybacks. We're still about 1 minute really away from NiP being in a form to fight. Error. Hang on, he's maybe a little bit needs to be careful there. He's charging down the lane for the farm. He's got Seal Kid in tow, but at the same time, Asus in the tree line. How far is Error going to come out?
He's got boots of travel. Hopefully not too much further for his sake. He's buyback on cooldown for 1 more minute. And Asus.Polar laying this trap.
They find the line. That's a good way to start the fight. Can they look for any more? BKB bot by the... look at the black hole. He's going to catch 2. The Death Ward's actually just outside of it, though. But it's goes the Bristleback, and it's just not doing any damage at all. Error is getting kited. He goes down. And he's got buyback available in 39 seconds. But still, NiP, I think they took a hazard to guess at where Asus were, and they didn't anticipate the fact that Asus, they were all ready for that fight. And... wow, 3 heroes down.
Yeah, that's that's looking kind of... fighting without the Treant Protector is a big deal because he is the one who has to cancel that Black Hole. With Treant dead during that fight, NiP didn't stand a chance against Black Hole. Even if that was just a one-hero Black Hole on Era, Asus.Polar still win the fight.
Jonathan fan, he's trying to fight up, but he's only got the backup of the Lina. And I think Centaur... yeah, he just popped the cheese. There's your refresher from Lina. BKB comes back online. There's your overgrowth you were talking about, catching out Illidan and Seedoy. But Illidan, past the BKB, is going to get out. Yes, he is. Oh, Bristleback with the Bristleback passive. It's enough to keep him alive. He's hiding in the tree line. Seedoy is going to get taken down. There's your blink, but they did get him.
He got him with nice. He got him with the Blink Dragon Slave as he's TPing. He was about half a second away from the TP. Important kill on the Bristle. He does have buyback, but NiP say, let's go force out that buyback or try and win this game while 2 heroes are dead, or at least force out double buybacks. There's no Black Hole. Well, there is a Black Hole. He's got a refresher on Enigma. That's a big item pickup for your Enigma here in the late game. And NiP, this is where you need that double overgrowth now to deal with both the Black Holes.
He's certainly doing. Hansken still about 1,000 away from picking up that recipe. But the bottom racks, they are exposed. There is a fortification, though. And can Era do this? Battle Trance, there's the damage. The Frost Armor providing a little bit of a defense, but it's not going to be enough. There's your fortification finally coming out. Asus still yet to use the buybacks, trying to hold them back. Lil coming in, but there's your Siphon return from Limp. Chainfrost is going to come out. Blinking for Jonathan fan, trying his best to burst down this line. Your Scepter's going to actually keep him alive, and they lose the Centaur. That's the Centaur down. 2 buybacks did come out from Asus, and the Centaur does still have his buyback, so perhaps NiP, I guess they'll be happy with that.
Importantly for Seedoy, even though he used buyback, he didn't have to use his refresher, so he'll have double Black Hole for the next upcoming team fight. Which is something NiP have scouted out that the refresher is available, but you know, it's going to be a tricky item to deal with nonetheless.
Oh boy, 62 minutes in. NiP and Asus. A game that could still very easily go either way. It's only 4,000 in terms of XP for Asus, leading 2k as well at absolutely nothing at this point. Both teams very much neck and neck between the two of them. Both with very, very strong fighting cores. They're getting to the point where the Sniper and the Troll very, very even in terms of farm and in terms of item progression. It's, I don't know, man, this game could certainly go either way at this point, and it's all down to who can find the big team fights and the big initiations.
Oh yeah, the execution of team fight, it's a lot harder for NiP because they're the ones who are going to have to react to the plays that Asus.Polar make. When that BKB Black Hole comes out on your Troll, Treant has to make sure he doesn't get caught out. His positioning is crucial. I guess to the same extent, Enigma can't afford to get caught out, but for the most part, Seedoy's been on point. He has not been getting caught out at the start of too many of these fights. It's more often been the Treant. Hansken off on his own trying to get down eyes. At this point, you just give up some map control, some vision for just staying behind your teammates, keeping them alive, protecting them from the Black Hole.
Asus are starting to try and push back onto the side of NiP. Removing as many trees as they can. Roshan is back up in 50 seconds. And well, we'll see if Asus decide to kind of hang back and check that one out. See if they can find the Aegis before they take the next fight. They scouted out. Oh, it's under a minute. They're going to hang around for this. Seedoy, surely he knows it's fairly soon. It's not the quickest of respawns, so they know it's coming sooner rather than later.
This is a very just dangerous time in general because very few buybacks on the playing field. Only Sniper, the only hero in this game. Centaur about 50 gold short, should have it fairly soon, so at least there'll be there'll be 2 buybacks now, but this is still a just generally risky time of the game. Hansken about to farm his refresher off at bottom lane. He just needs a couple hundred and then he'll have that refresher.
Illidan, come on, stay there. He's not going to go, is he? He's going to commit, and he's going to be able to find Roshan as he spawns. There we go. The waiting pays off, and Asus, they're going to be the first onto the Roshan, and can they take it quick enough that NiP aren't going to be able to contest? I don't quite know. NiP, they don't seem to look to be in a position to head straight for the Roche pit. Oh, actually, here comes Era.
Yeah, they see it.
He takes a beeline for it. He's ready to go, but look at the speed it goes down. Nowhere near quick enough, and she's going to be taken by line.
So Illidan drops his basher. He's picked up a Skadi now, so he's doesn't have the bash and the lockdown for the Troll, but just the slow which also goes through BKB. It's going to be really nice, and some more luxury items coming out. Hansken gets his refresher orb on Treant Protector. He is going to be mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. His positioning, he cannot afford to get caught out. He is the answer to this Sudoi BKB black hole with an Aghanim Scepter times 2. He's got to be on point.
I really feel these team fights, the two kind of key supports that it's down to are both the Enigma and the Treant. It's whoever gets off the bigger, the better ults. If we see the Treant come in, he's able to cancel the black holes, and the team fight almost certainly will go the way of NiP. But at the same time,
Illidan's alone.
Oh, this could be the start.
Travel. He wants to TP mid, but he's gonna get caught out. He may die twice. Oh boy, Illidan gets the BKB off. Can they keep them in place here? Era gets the bash. They'll even use an overgrowth. The support is on its way though. Here comes Asus.Polar, and it looks like there's going to be a refresh. They see the support coming in. They catch out Lil with a Laguna Blade. Turns things into a 4v5.
Oh, it looks like Asus, they still want to fight. BKB's popped, and there's your black hole on to Era, but Overgrowth is there. It doesn't quite catch Seedoi. It's just out of range, so Era, he will go down, and that is Era down now, and he has not got buyback. What's the cooldown looking like on his buyback? 1 minute and 20 still he has to wait. Hansken getting caught out in the tree line. He himself, he's 1,300 gold short of buyback, and suddenly 2 big heroes down on the side of NiP that they're not going to be around for a little bit, and this could be a window for NiP to just go for it.
They had to use a lot on that. They just took a little too long to kill the Bristleback, because by the time he came back up, there were just too many Aces heroes swarming around them, and I think that if they wanted to keep staying around and fighting, they had to go for the Bristleback a second time. He wouldn't have had a BKB. They had a second Hex as well as Laguna Blade. Instead, Lina went for the Lion, which was a sure kill and all, but I think if you refresh, you BKB, Hex, Laguna, kill the Bristleback a second time, and then even if you lose the fight because there's a black hole from the Enigma, at least you've still killed the Bristleback twice. But hey, they at least hold their own for now. This is still looking like a potential second lane of Rax as Asus.Polar want to push down top with Bristleback, who has no buyback himself, so he's going to be fairly cautious.
He's not going to be too worried about Lina on her own, but Witch Doctor, maybe if the Centaur is able to find a nice jump in and they can get a lot of damage onto the Bristleback from the front. Laguna Blade is, of course, available. There's your fortification, buying some time. Treant, he's going to be back on the map. He has got Overgrowth off cooldown. There's your Scythe onto Illidan. Mech straight away in response from Asus. And this is, in fact, it gets forced in. And can they find the ability to catch him out? Witch Doctor has got the Death Ward, but there's your BKB. Illidan takes a Laguna Blade to the face, but he's still sitting on a fair bit of health. And, well, he doesn't want to back up yet. G zoning out the Centaur and trying to find the damage on the Rax, and he will find it, and that is going to be the top lane of Rax down. So now 2 lanes lost from the side of NiP in terms of Rax. They've only got this mid lane of Rax left standing, but the mid lane of Creeps is very, very much pushed out against the side of the Radiant at the moment.
So, and both teams approaching their buybacks once more. So Bristleback 30 seconds, Enigma 30 seconds. And Troll, here's his backup. Just needs a couple hundred gold and he'll have it. NiP, they're rushing to make a move though. They smoke up right away, say we're down 2 lanes of Rax. Let's try and catch someone out. This is what I feel like they maybe should have done a bit more of earlier. Is just use the smokes, try and catch out someone like an Enigma, and then try and make a play off of that.
Yeah, this, again, it could be very big if Limp can find the jump, and at the moment, Enigma
close to doing so.
Is the closest. And if they can take down this Enigma, who, well, he hasn't got the refreshers off cooldown, but he has got one of the black holes. And that's enough to kind of get a fight back in the favor of Asus.
Oh, they've seen him though. The Radiant Ward spotted out NiP here in the jungle.
Okay, so what's Asus' response? Do they continue to push, or do they look to fight? It looks like they continue to push.
Straight down mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll force NiP to come back and defend. They don't have to go to NiP. NiP will come to them and they can make it'll be a fight more on Asus.Polar's terms, as they can just chip away and siege this tier 3 tower using the sniper Bristleback.
And here we go, straight out to the tier 3. Centaur Warrener and Lina with the defense. You're blinking from Jonas and Fan. Double edge. It just does nothing. Scythe onto the sniper. Death Ward. It comes in.
There's nothing.
It literally, it just tickles him.
I think he's going to go elsewhere with that. They're going to catch out Hansken in the backlines. That's the Treant who's looking to flank. No Treant. They can't stop the black hole. It's going to catch out Era. There's a second one as well if he needs it. Sudoi could refresh, but he's going to go down first. Buybacks now coming into play. NiP, one last hurrah for them. Illidan in the front lines, just beast moding it up. He's going to bring down Jonas on the center if there's no answer for him. And the sniper of G just silently pelting away on everyone. Jonas getting low. He's going to die. His buyback now comes out. Everyone just buying back left, right, and center. Limp getting locked in place by Illidan, but Illidan getting low. He may be forced to go down here. He can Manta out of this one, and Limp, he's done for. He's got no escape. This is looking like the end. Black hole on Jonas. All the diebacks come out, and GG. That's it, ODPixel. Game 3 coming up.
Game 3 is going to be a good one. That was a lot of big team fights there, and at the end, the Refreshers Black Hole really paid off. We saw it take down the Troll the first time, and then at the end, just finishing the game, ensuring that anyone who bought back was going to certainly be dying very abruptly. And, well, Asus.Polar, they do, as you say, they level it up, and Game 3 between these two sides, GoDz, I've got to say, I think we were bang on. These teams are very, very closely tied in terms of skill, it seems to be.
Absolutely. NiP, they really shine in the early to mid game. This game, I really thought they had this game. I think they had the slightly stronger late game lineup, the execution. Asus.Polar, FNG as a captain and just in-game leader makes great calls, and really just his team in late game settings does so damn well. And that's where I thought game 1, once they pulled things back, I thought they were going to take it, but it just wasn't the case.
Indeed. And, well, Game 3, we'll get ourselves into it as soon as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, on the stream, don't go anywhere. We're going to run a few beautiful videos, and then myself, ODPixel, and Mr. BTS GoDz are going to be with you for the final deciding matchup between Asus and NiP here in the Summit 3 European qualifiers. We'll see you guys in a minute.